The Toronto Raptors were unable to end off the road trip with the W, and they fall to the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas 110-102. This is the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit, and we're going to break it all down for you and tell you exactly what went down. To start things off, Pascal Siakam did not have his MVP type season type numbers tonight. They held him in check, and he ended off the night with 15 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. 6 of 24 from the field, 2 of 10 from 3, and 1 of 3 from the free throw line, along with 5 turnovers, but he was a +3 on the floor. Fred VanVleet, on the other hand, he was really good throughout the night, and he brought us back close every time, and whenever we needed a timely bucket, he gave it to us. And he ended off the night with 24 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 8 of 18 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and the only thing was he had 3 turnovers and he was a -22, which is kind of crazy to see because, when we were close in the games, when we were close in the game, he was always on the floor. Norman Powell had a little stretch the past game and a half of not scoring, but he came out today, guns blazing, scoring 26 points, 6 rebounds, had an assist, 9 of 15 from the field, and 6 of 8 from 3. And 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And he was a +1 on the floor. OG Anunoby came back into the game. He returned after about 2 games, after getting poked in the eye by Kawhi Leonard, and he had 8 points, 5 rebounds. Decent. Marc Gasol does Marc Gasol things. 6 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. My only problem with Marc Gasol, because we're undermanned right now, and he's always lurking on the 3-point line. Learn to shoot the ball when you get it. If you're open, shoot it. Don't pass it every time. I know you love facilitating, but we need your scoring right now. You need to be at least a borderline all-star type guy that you were in Memphis to help us through these games and these stretches where we're not able to score. Even today, we came out and we were up 10-3 at the beginning of the game. And then Dallas ended up going on a 15-0 run after calling a timeout. And who stopped the run? Marc Gasol. Why did he stop it? He took an open 3 that he had, and he ended the run. And we were down 18-13. Hollis Jefferson, he had 8 points, 4 rebounds. He's an energy guy off the bench. Wasn't as good as he was last game, but he still earned himself minutes throughout this road trip, showing that he definitely has value for our team. Matt Thomas definitely came out, proved that, he has that shooter's touch, hit some big threes, some timely buckets, had a 4-point play when Marc Gasol got pushed down. It wasn't him that shot the free throw, but, Marc Gasol's screen assist really did help him get off that shot in time before the ref called the foul. Terrence Davis wasn't anywhere to be seen today, and Chris Boucher, same thing. And Stanley Johnson, what can I say about him? He's a legend, right? The man has every opportunity right now to take advantage and get himself in the rotation, but doesn't even know what he's doing anymore. If he doesn't get himself now into the rotation, it's a wrap. He's off the team. Not literally, because he'll be sitting on the bench unless they trade him at the trade deadline. But right now, he's I don't understand. Did he forget how to play basketball? I remember last year when he guarded Kawhi so well and he was hitting open shots for the Detroit Pistons in the corner and helped them steal the game in Toronto, and now the man doesn't know how to play basketball. Okay, let's just move on. I'm just going to get pissed off talking about him. All right, so the Raptors shot 42% from the field. Same with Dallas. They shot 42%. It was basically dead even. The Raptors shot 37 of 89 from the field, and Dallas shot 37 of 88 as a team. 3-point percentage, we shot 41% from the 3, 17 to 41. And wow, damn. They shot 9 for 39, 23%. Okay, did not think there was that much of a difference, but clearly I was mistaken. Free throw percentage, we were 73%, 11 of 15 from the free throw line. They were 82% and 27 from 33. See, that's what I want to talk about for a second here. So this game, along with the Clippers game, they our free throw difference was like drastic. I remember the Clippers game, they shot 30 free throws and we only shot 15, and Nick Nurse was on the refs for that. And then we come into this game, not only did they get more than 30 free throws, they got 33 and we only had 15. Luka Doncic by himself had more free throws than our whole goddamn team, which doesn't make any sense. And the refs got a earful from him. He got a technical, I believe, during the game. I believe in the fourth quarter, and then put up the Mavericks by like 14 points. We had 14 turnovers. They had 12. We had 21 assists. They had 24. Rebounding was definitely a big difference. We had 42 rebounds in total with 7 offensive rebounds. They had 55 total rebounds with 12 offensive rebounds. Personal fouls, we had 20. They had 15. And I believe like DeLon Wright came in and had some crucial buckets. He had a fast break, he had a nice steal, and then went up for a layup on 2 guys. I believe Terrence Davis and Chris Boucher were chasing him, but he somehow got it to go in. And then he had like a nice tip in crunch time. And then Seth Curry too, like he had some clutch plays, threes. He snuck in for a rebound and put the ball back in the basket. Kristaps came in the third quarter, showed off. Luka Doncic, same thing. Even though they didn't shoot well from the floor, Kristaps Porzingis had 20 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 20 from the field, and 1 of 7 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. And Luka Doncic had 26 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 of 14 from the field, and 1 of 5 from the three-point line. And like I said earlier, 15 of 19 from the free throw line. Like, how does one player, other than James Harden that I can believe, can have more free throws than our whole damn team? I can't be upset with the Raptors, even though this was a loss. The one thing we can never discredit them is showing effort and bringing their 100% on the floor. Like, they could have quit when they were down 14. They didn't. They cut it to 2. Unfortunately, they just weren't making the timely buckets they needed when we got it that close to try and steal the win. We were leading at halftime, I believe, 60-53, but, just like right after our 10-3 start in the beginning of the game, we let them get back into it, and we were basically trying to catch up after that. The road trip, like I said, 3-2, not bad. Whether we had our full lineup or not, we were undermanned, and this is very impressive regardless. It was a long road trip. Feels like we've been on the road longer than we actually have. Feels like we've been on the road for like a month. But now we go back home. We play the Charlotte Hornets, and I believe they're coming off a 2-game winning streak right now. 2 lucky wins, actually, because I believe they played the Pistons a couple nights ago, and Malik Monk hit a buzzer beater on the Pistons and stole a win at home. And then tonight at MSG, Devontae Graham hit a go-away 3 with a few seconds left to take the lead. And then I believe whoever took the shot for New York missed it. And then now they're coming to face the Raptors on Monday. And we just got to take care of business and get back on the winning end of things. Congrats to Melo. Just want to give a shout out to Melo for getting back into the league. I think we get a lot of that credit as Raptors because, as you can see, we put a lot of balance back into the league after last year's finals. We, basically took down Golden State to the ground. We took out KD, took out Clay, and now Draymond gets injured from time to time, and he's basically getting smacked up by every team by himself because Steph Curry broke his hand and is out for about 4 months. KD, like I said, tore his Achilles and took his talents to Brooklyn because of his problems with Golden State throughout last year. Clay is out for the season with his ACL tear during the NBA Finals. He won't be back till next season, so there's a playoff spot open for the Western Conference, and that's why Dallas was desperate to get the win because they're trying to make the playoffs. They were a desperate team. They lost 2 times to the Knicks. Obviously, they want to get a win. Whoever loses the Knicks, whoever gets swept by the Knicks in a season needs to get, it's a reality check for them, You can't get swept by the Knicks. You shouldn't even give them a win. Their team is so discombobulated. Like, they don't even have an identity. Um, but yeah, we put balance back into the league. We're taking out Golden State. Now they're irrelevant till next season. And we smacked up Portland with an undermanned team, and then we got Melo back in the league. So you're welcome, NBA, and you're welcome, Carmelo. And now, once we take care of business at home against the Hornets, who knows? All you Michael Jordan fans might see him come out of retirement after halftime. You never know. But yeah, I mean, usually I'd be pissed off after a Raptors loss, but the way they've been playing and the heart and the effort they've been showing, and like the players that are basically stepping up that we never thought would step up, it's really given me some hope that we actually do have a lot of depth on this team. And it's I want to see how it plays out when everyone's healthy, because going into this road trip, we thought we could only have 8 man on the floor because no one else looked like they could play. And as soon as Lowry went down with the finger injury, Ibaka went down with the sprained ankle, all these guys you didn't think would step up at crucial moments stepped up. Like Rondé didn't even get any minutes basically in the preseason, and he comes out and starts playing this houndish defense on all the best players and superstars on the other teams. And you just see this other side of him, and you're like, damn, like this is what we expected when we signed him. Where was this when we started the season? Like, did you really need to get called out by the coach to show that you could play in the league? Like, we know how good you are. We saw how good you played on Brooklyn. We saw the junkyard dog mentality you had. Like, all you had to do was like just show it from day one, and you would have got the minutes. But either way, it worked out for you. Now you're in the rotation. Now you're playing behind OG Anunoby, and you and OG can basically take some of Pascal's minutes so he doesn't play himself into the ground. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the season still. We can surprise a lot of people. We still look like we can contend with the best of them. I still want to see how we fare against Milwaukee and Philly and Boston, in the coming months of the season. We did play Boston and Milwaukee, but obviously it's early, so we don't know, and we didn't have the full depth that we have now. So I want to play those guys again and see how it goes. But we clearly know that the top 5 teams in the East right now is going to be Milwaukee, Philly, Boston, Toronto, and Miami. That's what it's looking like right now as the top 5. And after that, you're looking at probably Orlando, Brooklyn, Indiana. Indiana could jump into the top tier too and fight for one of those top 5 spots if Oladipo is who he was before he got injured. And the Western Conference is jam-packed. I mean, I don't even want to get into those guys because that stuff could change day by day. Like, every team could jump over one another just because, if you go on a 1 or 2 game losing streak, that could change the whole conference. Kudos to Boston. They're looking like the team that they were a couple years ago with better leadership, with Kemba Walker coming in and taking charge. And he's back to form. He played shit like a couple games at the beginning, but now he's kind of back to his old form, all-star form, all-NBA form. And they're on a 10-game winning streak. I don't think the Raptors will have a season like they did last year, holding up the Larry O.B., but I'm always very, optimistic, and I'm always looking forward to seeing how the Raptors are. I feel like this is more like a DeRozan season where, we make it to the second round, maybe the conference finals, if we get lucky with that injury here or there to other teams. But we'll see as time goes. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys, when the Hornets game's over and we have a recap on that. If you guys enjoy the podcast and like listening to me talk about the Raptors, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We also are going to start doing some gaming and some reaction videos from time to time. But if you really, want to show me some support, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you click the notification so you see all my uploads as soon as they get on. And we'll see you soon, all right? Peace!